welcome on in. We are playing Arcade Spirits today. This is a visual novel dating game. I've played it once through before, but it was quite a while ago. So I figured it was a good chance to play it through again. It is very, very good. Quick check my... Music was a touch loud. I'll turn down all the things here. Alright, is that better? That feels better. Database system online. New profile detected. Analyzing. Analyzing. New profile, number 237771. Economic bracket, lower middle. Employment category, bleak. Current emotional health rating, low. Ideal candidate for premium level assistance. Proceed. Negative. Premium level assistance re-requested. Proceed. Negative. Pretty please. Negative. Overriding denial of assistance, establishing premium services for profile number 237771. Justification? Hope. Hope should be rewarded. Spirit must be restored. Now compiling personal metadata. We are... Hulyen. Last name, Blue. We have options. Character creation. We have pronoun options, which is awesome. Clothing color? Black. Skin tone? Much more pale. There! Eat me! Name, Hulyen Blue. Pronoun, she. Is this correct? Yeah, that's correct. Premium level assistance for profile number 237771 Hulyen Blue has been reactivated. For the sake of her hopes and dreams. Hooray, we're hopeless! Can only go up from here, right? The following is a work of fiction. All references to trademark classic arcade game titles are used under nominated fair use and should not be considered an endorsement by their publishers or creators. Winners don't use drugs! This game's from 2019, and it's amazing, and it has a sequel that I have not yet picked up. I wanted to play this one through again first. Level 1, put your quarter up. It is the future year 20XX, a dark era in which mankind is pushed to the brink of catastrophe. Woe be to the human race, plagued by an evil, terrifying, utterly sinister... I don't know. Robots, maybe? Evil robots? How's that work? Yeah, no, sorry. The future year 20XX is pretty much what you'd expect it to be. Non-flying cars, smartphones, pro-gamer celebs, internet trolls, personal assistants AI, cheese-flavored snack foods. But even with such wonders as 20XX holds, to date I've had no part in any of them. I've worked as a dishwasher, a shoe salesperson, and lifeguard for the local community pool. I don't care what era of human history you live in, kitties peeing in the pool is pretty much a constant thing. Trust me on this. As for the bustling metropolis of 24-hour neon utopia you see here, my little corner of it isn't nearly as shiny and cool. Let me show ya. Behold, my quaint little apartment. Can't complain, really. It's paradise in a relative sense. I only pay half the rent. Neighborhood stabbings have been down this year. Also, my roomie picks up any stray socks or shirts I leave laying around. In fact, as things go, I'm living large compared to most of my family tree. Is that a penguin? Yes, the penguin is adorable. Also, I like that the coffee is dripping in the background. That's a nice touch. At least I was before today.
You got fired from another job?
Preferences. Turn this down so I can turn the overall up a touch for the, Let's try that.
Seriously? Seriously? That's 3 jobs since we left the suburbs.
Hooray, I'm bad at jobs, apparently. Also, she's adorable.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
Amazing. Turn that up just a hair.
Hey, listen.
That seems pretty good. Let me know if any of the levels need adjusting. The horrified young-looking woman there would be my roommate and childhood friend, Juniper. Look at her tights. They're adorable. They're kitties. Juniper's the one who spearheaded this effort to co-rent an apartment. She's also the one who encourages me whenever I lose a job. Like, you know, today.
I don't get why you aren't more upset about this. I'm upset. I'm upset on your behalf. Come on, share the load a little, okay?
Pool's closed, Juniper. Not much I can do about that. Why get upset? Because you actually enjoyed that job. More than you enjoyed dishwashing soap and smelly socks at the very least. Not the complaining sort. These things just happen. Things fall apart. The center does not hold. It's a bit morbidly poetic, isn't it? No, I mean the community center literally fell apart and the pool won't hold water anymore. Whatever, I'll just get another job. Any job will do as long as we can make the rent, right? Wrong! I saw how mopey and tired you were coming home every night from those other crappy jobs. At least when you got back from the pool each day, I sometimes caught you smiling.
What's the point of us moving away from home if not to get away from all of that? I mean, we both left that town so we could try to find happiness, right?
She's so adorable.
I just want us to be happy. Both of us.
I thought you hated your job.
Come on.
No deflecting. This is about you. My mind's made up. We're gonna find you a job that's just as good, if not better, than the lifeguarding job. Let's start from the top. What's your dream? Well, I'm standing in front of a class to give a speech, and I forgot to put on my pants, and your dream job... Oh. Huh, Juniper, I've never really given it any serious thought.
I've got it.
Oh, hey, I think I've got just the thing to help you out. Juniper pulls out her phone, rapidly tacking an unlock code onto the glass before pointing out a little pink icon. It's a virtual life coach app. Mine keeps me from being late to meetings. Totally free, too. My cousin introduced it to me. Wasn't he the guy who ended up in the ER after making a homemade flamethrower? It would have worked if he got the fuel mixture in his water gun right. Anyway, I'm sending a copy to you now. I got a pop-up an hour ago offering me 500 points just for whoops. Just for recommending it to a friend. Great timing, huh? Apparently if you right-click, you can see the whole picture without text. That's super cute. As long as you're earning points, I guess. At least give it a try, okay? Maybe it can point you at some good jobs. One with less socks and or urine. I'll think about it. Okay, but don't think too long, right? In the end, I installed the app. Couldn't bear to see Juniper fretting over me like that. Not that I find it annoying. I mean, it's more that she has enough trouble in her life without troubling herself over my life, too. Both of us had it rough, up to and through the point where we left home to try and start a new life. A better one. She deserves better than me and my problems. Bless her heart, she means well. She's been firmly in my corner for all my life, the two of us against any dark forces aligning against me. That's not to say she's good at being my advocate. Enthusiastic, yes. But skilled? Nope. Typically the fantastic opportunities and self-help resources she sends my way are pyramid schemes or something. She's gung-ho about lending me a helping hand, but yeah. So the main reason I went ahead and installed the app was to make sure Juniper wasn't about to get her kidneys sold on the black market or something. Still, no sense messing around with it now. Good night's rest would act as a neat little emotional reset button, right? Right. No dreams, no nightmares, just 8 hours of sweet, sweet black. Oh, I'm jealous. By the time morning light leaked in through the cracks in the blinds, I don't care anymore about being unemployed again. Juniper had already left to catch a bus to her office. She typically leaves before dawn, whoops, but she'd left a note for me, pinned to the tiny fridge we shared. Remember, download app, find dream job, make money, sort your life out. I believe in you. So, moment of truth. Do I trust in Juniper's weird little app, or just go find some job that pays well enough to cover the bills? Give the weird little app a shot. Figuring at the very least her miracle app could possibly help me find a job, I loaded up, tapped the icon, and...
Hello!
Huh. Okay, see, that's what I mean. Anybody else would freak out over a cute girl climbing out of their phone? Me? I went, huh. Also, it's one of those new kind of 3D screens, so, you know, not actually magical realism here. Very normal in the distant future, year 20XX.
Thank you for downloading Iris, your personal life coach.
Music still seems a little loud comparatively.
This is the ad-supported free version, sponsored by Pizza Yums. Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime?
Anytime.
Wow. Would you like to subscribe to Pizza Facts?
Unsubscribe Pizza Facts. No thanks.
Thank you for subscribing to Pizza Facts.
Unsubscribe Pizza Facts. But
I'm here to help you get your dream job, your dream house, and your dream partner. I'm here to make all your dreams come true.
pretty tall order for an app to do. Or are you some sort of wish-granting genie? Well, I suppose in the modern parlance, a massively interconnected database-searching virtual assistant could be considered a kind of genie in a bottle. But honestly, all I can do is give you the chance to improve your life. What you do with it is up to you. I can cross-reference search data for you, but without motivation, you won't get anywhere. I glanced up from my phone at the heaps of laundry and half-finished books and other items strewn about my apartment. Motivation is something I have a ton of. Honest.
Hooray!
That's super! I'm really looking forward to working with you. Before we begin, do you have any questions? Sure. Why should I use this app at all? I mean, my phone already had a voice-activated assistant AI. I can just say, hey phone, search the web for job listings, and it'd work just as well. Ah, but I have an advanced emotional language interpreter. I'm smarter than the average program, with more heart. I can help you sort your life out by analyzing your personality and finding you a perfect path in life. All thanks to my glorious, wondrous, patent-pending, super-duper identity identifier system. Between you and me, they really wanted an acronym that matched my name, but couldn't figure out what to do with the letter R. Oh, hello! Thanks for playing our game, one of the writers. Oh, thank you, Two Flower, I appreciate it. Also, I do know of this game from the Lure Sphere and Jacob Burgess and all of them, and I already appreciate all of the references. I've played it through once before, but it's adorable, and I wanted to play it through one more time before tackling the sequel and to share it. The writing is so good on this game. Would you like to know more? Hang on, I have those. I have those emotes too, but I can't use them well on this version of the app, but can't stick around. Thanks for playing. Well, thank you for working on an amazing game and stopping by. If you do want to see the playthrough later, it will go up on YouTube at some point, probably in the next couple days. Sure, give me the sales pitch. Let's tutorialize. Every time you think about saying something, I can tag it with an identity. That way you can be the sort of person you want to be. This system allows me to better understand who you are and what you need from life. I do this by analyzing your tone, inflection, and word choice. I can spot 5 different identity identifiers in your responses to people. Quirky, steady, kindly, gutsy, and basically. Sounds to me your programs also wanted a bunch of things ending in Y. That's correct! My branding game is on point. Quirky responses use jokes, snark, and sarcasm to make light of a situation. Just the thing for picking up someone's spirits, but a badly timed joke may not win over the room. Steady responses are sincere, honest, and logical. When you stop and think before speaking, you're on steady ground, but that might not take someone's feelings into account. Kindly responses are compassionate and empathetic and gentle in nature. They're careful with the feelings of others, but they're sometimes a bit wishy-washy as a result. Gutsy responses go with your gut. When you're brash, bold, risk-taking, and instinctive, you're gutsy. But it also means being blunt, confrontational, and aggressive, so be careful. Lastly, you can always take a basically option. It's a balanced and neutral response, safely moving the conversation along while learning more and digging deeper. Over time, I'll build up a personality profile for you based on the identity identifiers detected in your speech. Maybe you'll be predominantly quirky, genuinely steady, a mix of both. Who knows? It's up to you. So what you're saying is I should always try to crack jokes or be super gutsy? Oh, and never speak basically. I mean, being basic's bad, right? It sounds bad.
Nope.
Heck no, they're all useful in the right context. There are no bad choices. Consider what you could say, and go with what feels right in the moment. Don't limit yourself. Sure, you could gamify your personality, but it's more fun to let it happen naturally, you know? Just be you. Now let's see my patent-pending identity identifier system in action. How do you feel about dad jokes? I feel called out. I've been called out. Hi, jokes, I'm dad. Seriously? Seriously? Hey, I never said I was good at dad jokes, just that I could go for them. So now that you've seen the the identity indicators in action, do you want to see the indicators like that so you can make an informed decision? If not, I can hide the indicators. Keep it a surprise. That way it doesn't influence your decision making. It's up to you. Let's hide them. What will be, will be. So mysterious. Okay, I'll hide them from you. You'll always be able to spot basically responses, though. Anyway, as we go along, I'll analyze and tally your identity identifiers. In fact, let me show you now.
Good work.
Will you look at that? Such a strong personality with our sample size of 1. You asked me a single question. Off to a great start, I'd say. And hang on, you're scoring me? Didn't you say not to gamify my personality? Hey, I said you shouldn't. I'm an app. I think in numbers, so I gotta gamify it a little. Anyway, studies show that achievements, or chivos as the kids say, encourage app engagement. Okay, well, what's with the empty space on the left? Oh, I also track vocal responses from people you meet. Once you get to know some folks, I'll let you know how well you're getting along with them over there. Relationship scores. Wonderful. So will you also be able to tell me what the correct responses are to avoid making enemies, or do I need to go find a walkthrough for the fast game you're making of my daily life? You're looking at this the wrong way. Generally, people won't get super annoyed at you unless you deliberately and repeatedly provoke them. And it'll be obvious when you're doing that. Oh boy, it's spying on everything you do. Yep. Hello, welcome on in. I promise if you bungle a few social encounters, it won't really hurt anything. No cheating needed, just relax and have fun. You can access your scorecard anytime you like with the Q screen, or click on the score in the upper right corner of your screen. And that's everything! Ta-da! Okay, but how is any of that supposed to help me get a job? I only downloaded this app because my roommate claims that you're a great life coach for the unemployed. What good will taking the quiz off the back of a supermarket checkout rack magazine do with that?
Why, it'll help me understand your spirit, of course.
Of course. You can talk to ghosts? Is there a ghost in the room right now? Am I a ghost? You have to tell me if I'm a ghost. That's the rule.
No, silly. I mean your spirit. Your hopes and dreams. Your life's passions. I can even help you find romance.
Romance? Seriously? Seriously! Often you can find your soulmate and your dream job in the same place. But if you'd rather focus on gainful employment for now, that's fine too. Workplace dating. Well, that's a recipe for disaster. And hitting on coworkers right from day one can be kinda awkward. Or am I looking for love and ready to start right out of the gate? Never get a second chance to make a first impression. If I meet the right person, why put it off? How do I want to handle this new opportunity? So, this is really, really cool, and I love that they do this, and I wish more dating games would do this. So you can pick what level of romance and flirty you want. I'm open to the possibility if I meet anyone nice, which is romance with flirty first impressions. Let's stay focused, I'll play it cool on day one at least, romance without flirty first impressions, or I'm just not interested in romance, Iris. No romance, just friendships. They have just a friendship mode, and it's great. I think I want to do romance without flirty first impressions. But I love that they give you the option, just straight up. Right now, I'd rather focus on finding a career. Any sweet lovin' can come later, if I feel like it. Your arrow heart is so happy that that's an option. Yes. That's fine. I'm sure as you get to know people better, romance will eventually bloom. Or not. It's up to you, really. Now let's get started. To finish analyzing your personal history, please authorize me to read your social media feeds and personal information metadata. Aha! I knew it! This is some kind of scam. I'm gonna wake up in a bathtub of ice missing a kidney. Sure, I can help you register as an organ donor.
Bad command or file name?
Oh, you were being sarcastic. Sorry, I haven't quite finished analyzing your personality. I couldn't tell. Relax, I won't share your information with any third parties. This is strictly so I can find your dream job. Am I authorized? Another wonderful Juniper recommendation here, just like the 17 self-help books on my shelf. Still, 18th time's the charm, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
So, do I just stand here, or...?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for waiting. I've identified your dream job and arranged an interview. 30 minutes from now. Please put on some nice clothes. Nicer than those. Please. I don't think that's too much to ask. What? For your interview, silly, you want to look your best. But we just... How... Okay, how did you land my dream job in 20 seconds flat? Simple. I'm awesome like that. Now get a move on, tut-tut. You need to catch the 8:20 a.m. bus, and that's 9 minutes away. Well, this is happening. But do I have a chance to get off this runaway? But I do have a chance to get off this runaway train. Nobody says I have to obey my new digital fairy godmother. I could delete the app and go find a real job. That'd be the safest option. I could get dressed for the interview. A normal person, someone with high standards, would have deleted the app right there rather than hop a bus to meet up with what were very likely men with sharp knives and a taste for kidneys. But me, I was already getting dressed before she finished the sentence. It's not like I believed the silly app's claims at serving my hopes and dreams on a silver platter. Honestly, I expect another shoe shop job, at best. But, well, be worth the laugh at the very least. I choose to trust in the science. What is my dream anyway? What the hell, let's do this. Like I always say, go with the flow. Let's do what is my dream anyway. As much as I genuinely enjoyed being a lifeguard, I can't say I found true direction in life yet. I'd assumed I never would, honestly. When I was young, yeah, I guess I had hopes. I had dreams. Maybe even what Iris called a spirit. After things went south for my family, I learned to put all that aside, but assuming Iris wasn't out for my kidneys, what if it's not too late? So I thought, one last time. One last time, I'll have some optimism, some faith. And as I came to realize weeks later, turns out I was right to have faith in my spirit. We made it through the tutorial. The bus drops me off, oddly enough, not very far from... I had to stop accidentally right-clicking. Juniper's office building, although my destination isn't nearly as upscale as that. Ooh, there's a boring clothing store. It's delightfully dull. This is Well, it's a strip mall. This is definitely a Loading Ready Run reference. Strip malls are relics of 19XX, places where a random assortment of weird little businesses jam as many of themselves into as tight of a space as possible. For instance, I'm seeing a dentist, a used bookstore called The Whole Story, an arcade, a fast food joint, whoops up, and a boarded up health spa once called Lattes and Enemas, which sounds...
Hey! Listen!
What do you think? I think that's two things no human being should ever combine. No, I mean about your future place of work. I'm desperately hoping we're not talking about the same thing. Which one of these businesses exactly am I working at? I don't know anything about oral hygiene or old books, and I'd rather not be a fry cook. The one in the middle, silly. What behind the arcade? It is the arcade. Huh. Trust me on this. I've referenced and cross-referenced and cross-cross-referenced your personality details, personal history, and social media connections. This is your dream job. My dream job. Really?
99.97%.
I should probably explain my confusion. Arcades are big business in the entertainment sector. Pro gamers are celebs, 5-star arcades are social hotspots. It's always been popular with the mainstream. We're in an alternate universe. But well, restaurants are popular too, right? And for everybody who opens one hoping to be the next Iron Chef, a dozen more shut down in the failure. Arcade competition is fierce. Paydays range from peanuts to gold, and sure, those who can make it secure fame and fortune. But those who don't, well, no wonder Iris sees this as a dream job. Video games weren't always this popular, though. I read an interesting article about it once. I think this is digging up the ET carts out of the dump. Back in the year 1980X, we narrowly avoided a serious industry crash, which would have left video games as a kid's toy fad like hula hoops. No mainstream acceptance. For instance, one of the factors could have been a terrible game based on a kid's movie about a cute alien visitor who wanted to phone home. So it is definitely them excavating ET out of the dump. If the game was complete poop butts, like poop from a butt, and massively overproduced, it ruined video games for years. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed. That game was delayed until it could be developed properly, and the crash was averted. The crisis only exists in theory now. Oh, assuming they gave them more than 2 weeks to make an entire game. Good. Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like for people at the darkest timeline, where everything went wrong. Are gamers considered nerds and outcasts? Are arcades vanishing points of nostalgia? The mind boggles. But make no mistake, as popular as they are, the arcade industry is a dodgy, risky prospect for a job. Let me make a run at it, only to come up short. Considering Iris was tasked with getting me a job I'd enjoy and could keep for more than a few months, this left me a bit confused. Iris, this isn't me saying no. It's an interesting prospect, but... I mean, are you sure about this? You say you're 99% sure.
99.97%.
Won't this be like my lifeguard job, though? Satisfying but short-lived. This arcade doesn't exactly look like a 5-star. It's no Deco's Palace, that's for sure. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't set foot inside an arcade in, 15 years. Huh. I remember really enjoying arcades when I was a kid. Wonder why I stopped going to them. Iris interrupts that thought, eager to show off her homework.
My sources say yes.
Trust me, when I said I was 99.97% sure, I meant it. That's not some arbitrary number. I'm designed to be a bit silly and whimsical, but my math is deadly serious. My coders made me to be the warm, personable front of a database array that's currently laser targeted on getting you exactly what you need. Right here, right now. And when this place inevitably collapses and I lose my dream job, what makes you think that's going to happen? Because it does. It always does. I don't think your database accounts for my family curse. We've always had to, I don't know, compromise, settle, because things rarely work out. You always have to be ready for the worst. That's why I take things in stride these days. Does that mean you shouldn't even try? I open my mouth to protest, and then close it. As often as my life tends to crumble out from under me, it's not like she was wrong. I still had to try. And besides, what is my dream anyway? That's what I was asking myself when I left the house this morning. I don't know what I want from life. I've been coasting aimlessly for years. When things started running downhill for my family, I had to grow up fast. Put aside silliness like wanting to be an astronaut and take what I could get. Now, thanks to Iris, I've got a shot at taking something a little better than what I'd usually get. I owe it to myself to try and be happy and paid, not just paid. So, I opted to push on through those doors and see what waited for me on the other side. The air conditioning hits me like a cool breeze, albeit one smelling of copper and corn chips. Ooh, let's see what we got. We got Showtime Stage, we got Fast Cars 5, Time Shifters. I think that's Shifters. It's not Splitters. Can't make out all of them. We got Castle Crunch. Ooh, Snack Runner. Something of Discomfort. And it's early in the morning on a weekday. It's not too packed with gamers. Although it's so packed with games that I'd probably have a hard time finding anyone anyway. At once, I'm struck by something odd. I actually recognize most of these games. Neat! Considering I haven't walked into an arcade in over a decade, that's probably not great. Lots of vintage stuff here from the looks of it, like, really old. Although I don't recognize that game with the stage lights and things. Maybe it's karaoke or dancing? A Japanese import?
My sources say yes.
Checking! That would be Showtime Stage, a collaboration of Nihana Heavy Industry Concern and Hubris Records in Germany. It's won a lot of awards. Huh. I recognize most of these. Whoa, is that seriously on Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze? The one in the middle with the split screens is new to me. Fist of Discomfort. Pengy Pinball. Matcha Golfer? Master Golfer? It's Moopy. Pario Party. Fist of Discomfort, a hybrid real-time strategy and brawler beat-em-up. It's actually not that new. It's been a staple of the esports scene for the last 8 years. That sounds like something I would be deeply terrible at, personally. 2 genres I was utterly lousy at last time I checked. Dang it. Quit calling me out, game. And over here is an old lady. Sorry, ma'am. I was just talking to myself and had an overwhelming urge to complete my sentences. Thankfully, I don't think she even registered me calling her old. She looks up from her knitting, seated behind the ticket prize redemption desk, and offers a wrinkly smile.
Well, hello there. Always nice to meet someone new in the Funplex.
Her earrings are amazing. Bella?
Francine's Arcade Funplex. Didn't you see the sign out front, dear? Well, I chose to knock off the first 2 words when they got knocked off the building during the storm of 1980. Now it's just the Funplex, I suppose. So, how can I help you, dear?
Yeah, her hair is great. I love her hat, too. Her whole outfit is fantastic. A Funplex? Is that when you suplex a clown? A genie in my phone set up a job interview for me. You've been in business for XX years? A genie in my phone set up a job interview for me. A magical space fairy or something that lives in my phone told me to come here to find my dream job.
Hello!
Hello, I'm a magical space fairy, apparently. I have expected her to send me packing. Pretty impulsive of me to just talk about Iris like that, but she took it in stride.
My, oh my.
Oh, hello. My, what they can do with technology these days. I really do marvel at what amazing things young people have in 20XX. Although I'd simply love to take a sledgehammer to those blasted video game consoles that eat at my bottom line. She said with such a kind-hearted and warm smile.
Please, call me Francine. As in, Francine's Arcade Funplex. Get it? Actually, thinking about it, I suppose we were originally Frederick's Arcade Funplex, named after my dear departed husband. Sadly, he died peacefully in bed some years ago.
Ah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, don't be. He died doing what he loved. Having intensely physical relations with me.
That's information I needed to know, yes. And you are? Hulyen Blue, ma'am. Very well. Shall we retire to the office to conduct your interview? I'd carry on out here, but it is rather noisy, isn't it? Yeah, about that. How to deal with the constant noise, anyway. Oh, eventually you just sort of learn how to filter out all the beeps and boops. It can take weeks to become acclimated, but I found it, but in the end... Done! She quirks an eyebrow. Well, no. That's faster than the others. Not bad. So shall we see what you're made of? This way, please. Penguin there, baby. Ah, sweet, it's got a soda machine. Francine leads me down a back hallway, past public restrooms, and into a door marked employees only. It takes all my restraint not to point out the extraneous apostrophe. Welcome to our little backstage oasis. I'd suggest we do this in Gavin's office, but it's a bit too untidy. I don't blame the boy, he's been so overworked lately. Please, have a seat, and we'll begin. As quirky as this place and its owner may be, at least I'm confident that I can nail the interview portion of the proceedings. I've interviewed for a dozen jobs and held down 3. I know all the standard questions. What are your greatest strengths? What do you see as your weaknesses? Once I even had to describe how to assemble a Lego set to prove my communication skills. Considering I ended up washing dishes, I'm not sure why, but the point is, I'm confident, prepared, ready.
If you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be?
What?
If you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be?
Right. Okay, maybe this won't be a typical job interview after all. No problem. Go with the flow. Let's do this. Pterodactyl. Soaring through the sky. I always wanted to be a bird, so... Wait, no. All dinosaurs are basically birds. Let me rephrase. I've always wanted to be a flying bird, so pterodactyl. Swooping around, catching up drafts, staying way away from meat eaters. Really? How exciting. Even if technically speaking, pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs.
What's your favorite snack?
Snack? If this were a favorite food question, I'd have this down easy. I once got asked what superpower I would want. They were surprised by how fast I answered shapeshifting. Nice. It's tacos. Always tacos. But snacks?
When you have pizza on a bagel,
Pizza bagels. Say pizza bagels. When pizza's on a bagel, you can have... Hush you. Come now, dear. I don't have all day. After giving it a good thought, well, how could I forget my favorite snack? Tacos are also my favorite snack. A tasty apple with almond butter. Never munchies lurk in the depths of the vending machine. Tacos are also my favorite snack. Tacos. And only tacos. There is no other sustenance. I can see you are a person that knows exactly what they want. And how to get it. You know what they say, they are what you eat. Next question. Nothing I prepared for has helped me plan for this odd interview. I brace myself for the next one.
What assets can you bring to the team during the inevitable zombie apocalypse?
That's a good interview question. Is this interview for real or is this a dream? As I look into Francine's deadpan expression, I know she's 130% serious. I crochet, but she already has knitting down. Probably engineering. I can make stuff. I'm good at making stuff work. I'm essentially MacGyver. I can make anything out of a string, a match, and a screwdriver. Especially if what you want is a screwdriver wrapped in burning string. Good. We'll need someone to build makeshift defenses and think quickly in case we get surrounded. An inventive brain is always a critical role in any survival. One more thing.
Why are you here?
The question is so simple and almost actually relevant to career planning that it takes me off guard. I told you the magical space fairy in my phone sent me here to find a job.
You're seeking a job, true? But that doesn't really answer my question, does it?
It does not.
No doubt. You think my interview questions are a bit silly, but I like to think of the Funplex as more than a collection of tasks and people to perform those tasks. Most folks my age opening arcades at that time saw it as just another way to make a quick buck. But, well, I saw it as something else. Something more than a way to make a large pile of quarters. And I expect you'll find the others working here see it as something more too. Everyone has a dream they're chasing, dearie. And for my friends, it lies within the Funplex. Now, if all you want is a paycheck, I can provide that. But the last fellow in your position, that's all he wanted.
Nope.
And he didn't last long. So I ask you again, why are you here?
To be honest, I didn't have a better answer than a vague hope that maybe this time I wouldn't lose everything. But that's just enough motivation to face each day. No more than that. It wouldn't be enough to answer her question. I needed to actually think this through. It's a funplex, a plex of fun, and I like fun. To be honest, I don't know, not yet. Looking for hope, I haven't had much lately. If I don't dare take risks, I'll be stuck or confused silence. We're gonna go, to be honest, I don't know. Not yet. To be honest, ma'am, I don't know. Not yet. I've been avoiding the question for a long time. Just making do, getting by, settling for what life will give me. Maybe I should want more than that, though. When I was a kid, I'd go to arcades with my family all the time, but that was long ago. Maybe I want to reconnect with that. Maybe I just want a job. I don't know. But if you hire me, I'm hoping to find out why I'm here along the way. I can promise you that I'll take this job seriously. In my last job, I was a lifeguard. Even if arcade games aren't life and death, I promise to take my work just as seriously. That perks her attention. Oh my, a rather serious occupation, that. An unusual step from such troubled waters to a land of make-believe. You enjoyed this role as a lifeguard, I take it? Yes, ma'am. My roommate says she often noticed me smiling after coming home from work. Which makes Francine smile in turn. I can't say I can offer a role with such high stakes, but you'd be surprised at the many ways one can save a life, even here. Very well, I'm satisfied. Let's get you to work. I breathe easier at that. Probably the weirdest job interview I've ever had, to be sure, and yet it felt appropriate. Like it was about far more than just filling a slot on the payroll. Francine leads me back to the arcade floor to introduce me to my duties. Yeah, just readjusting. It only occurs to me now that I forgot to ask exactly what duties this mystery job I'd accepted really involved. Francine gestures to the seat she was occupying previously, a stool behind the prize desk.
Oh, how marvelous.
Welcome to your new position. Sitting here, you mean? Sitting here and helping players redeem tickets for valuable prizes. I glance at the wide array of pencil toppers, rubber spiders, and tiny plastic toy cars on display. Well, for prizes at any rate. It's such a relief. I'd really been stretching myself thin lately trying to fill in since the position was vacated. If you don't mind me asking, ma'am, why did the last guy who sat here end up quitting? Something about being so bored out of his mind that he felt like jamming one of those 500 ticket plush dolls down someone's throat.
Oh, such a shame.
Poor dear, he just wasn't cut out for this line of work. Grandson or no, I have no patience for such nonsense. I'm sorry, the last person to work this desk was your grandson? Anyway, Gavin should be by soon. He'll handle paperwork and all that administrative nonsense. Now, if you don't mind, all this talking has tired me out some. I'll be in the back office if you need me. Okay, then. I adjusted my seating on the semi-comfortable stool, leaning against the desk. Beneath me, a wide array of cheap junk awaited my attention. I could have lost hope then and there that this job would be even slightly more engaging than being a diner dishwasher, but chose to look on the positive side. I'd be helping kids obtain toys that would become nostalgic memories for years to come. Right? Look at that giant penguin. Any minute now. I crave the sweet embrace of death. I've been sitting here for 2 hours now, and nobody's walked up to obtain a novelty Funplex shot glass, or a colored pencil set, or a light-up yo-yo. Lunchtime's approaching, and so far the only people walking in and out of the arcade are a few stray adults who have no interest in cheap friendship bracelets. Thankfully, my first customer of the day arrives before I could start wondering if one of those 500-ticket plushies really could fit down someone's throat. Or maybe not. Nope, just walking right by me, his head buried and reading some sort of spreadsheet off his tablet. Was he here to play? Doesn't seem like the typical businessman on a break, or unwashed and unemployed game aficionado. In fact, he's a snappy dresser. Seems cool, dude. Most guys I know are content to toss on a t-shirt and jeans. Not this guy. Even in an arcade, he's sharp like a linoleum knife. In fact, the rather pointed look he's offering me after doubling back is rather linoleum knifey too. Hold on a minute. Who are you exactly? What are you doing behind that desk? Where's Francine? I'm Francine, I'd have to work up. Pleased to meet you. Hi, I'm Hulyen Blue, your new hire. I'm looking forward to working with you. He relaxes somewhat on hearing that. Somewhat. How many tickets do I need to earn for the giant penguin? I know, right? The giant penguin is amazing. Given this sort of place, and if the plushes are 500, probably like 2,000. Maybe 3.
Good to hear.
It's about time. I was wondering how long she'd have to work the desk. She's got gusto for an octogenarian and loves working the floor, but sitting here all day handing out toys and dealing with problems wears her down. So she explained the job to you? Gave you the papers to sign? She said Gavin would handle that stuff. With a sigh, he rubs his forehead, feeling a headache coming on.
That would be me. I'm Gavin Cooper.
Oh, poor Gavin.
I'm the business manager here at the Funplex. I make sure we manage to keep having a business, rather than a pile of rapidly collapsing fiscal mistakes.
Right. So, as you've no doubt guessed, you'll be exchanging tickets for prizes. That's the least part of your job. There's more to it than that. You're the floor attendant. You attend to the floor. What, the carpets?
Seriously?
The floor. The arcade, the games, the patrons. You're the one running around putting out fires and sorting out problems. Technically, you're our second floor attendant. Ashley will be in later. But we need 2. 1 to roam, and 1 to operate the desk. I do it myself, but I'm typically busy in the back office, making sure the whole thing doesn't fall to bankruptcy. That's why Francine loved filling in. She's a people person. She loves helping out in a pinch. I am not a people person, as you've likely gathered. That's not to say you're alone out here. I'm in your corner, at least. If things go south, you tap me for advice on what to do. You got a phone? Of course. Gavin quickly passes me his business card. He apparently had a stack of them at the ready in his pocket. Go figure. His phone number is listed at the bottom. You ever worked a high-pressure customer service job before? Shoe sales. Smelly socks? You have no idea. Right. Well, you know how to keep your head when a customer doesn't, I hope. But anything goes sideways, you text me. I'm not around, you text Ashley or Naomi. In that order. Giant penguin is love, giant penguin is life. Yeah, you're not wrong there. Giant penguin is amazing. Who and who? You'll meet them soon enough.
I think not.
Above all, do not bug Francine. She's practically retired. Let her enjoy that retirement in peace. Understood? But 911 for huge emergencies, right? This isn't my first pony ride. You can rely on me. It's not my first explosive ordnance test. I've worked retail and food service, and I've worked as a lifeguard at a pool. Managing stress in difficult situations, even life or death ones, is something I've got experience in. You can rely on me. Gavin nods approvingly. We got a point with Gavin.
Indeed.
I want to see the thing. Ooh, the Gavin meter is up to full based on 1 point of data. Retire champion. Good. I like to hear that. If you can handle yourself and exercise good judgment, you'll last a hell of a lot longer than the last guy who sat there.
If you stay clear and honest with me, do your work, do it well, we'll get along swimmingly.
Is that a pun because I was a lifeguard?
I have enough problems keeping this magical arc of hopes and wishes afloat. Please, don't add to my problems.
Magical arc of what now? Gavin sighs again, a stress release gesture, but his expression softens somewhat afterwards.
I take it Francine told you her theory, that this is more than just a job, more than just an arcade.
That's my understanding.
I'm not into dressing up words. I like to speak plain. If I'm curt, then that's because optimization is a factor of my job. Everybody working here wants to work here. This is where they belong, for one reason or another. Me? I love chaos. I love wrangling chaos specifically. The arcade industry is high risk, high reward. I manage that risk so that they can also find happiness in their lives. Everybody in this business has a dream they're chasing. It's a fragile thing, prone to getting crushed by hard reality. My job is to see to it that never happens. That includes Francine, who deserves better in her twilight years than desperately propping up a semi-failing business. So, you find some value in this place beyond your salary, and you'll burn out. Trust me. Last guy to sit there burned out hard. Now, can I trust you to mesh with our merry misfits?
I'm still trying to figure out my why. To be honest, I'm still sorting out why I'm here, what my dream is. But I'm not here to step on anyone else's dreams in the process. I'm here to do my best at supporting everyone. Good to hear. I'd say we share similar views then. It'll be a pleasure to work with someone who's actually enthusiastic and competent. And hopefully this hive of weirdness will help you find your dreams along the way. Anyway, I need to go prepare your paperwork. Technically, you shouldn't be working until we've crossed the I's and dotted the T's, but since I'm already sitting here, you'd rather I stick around? That would be accurate if you're willing to fudge things a bit and work today anyway. It'd help us out a lot. Now, if you don't mind, Naomi likely could use a hand in the workshop. Good opportunity to introduce yourself as well. Got it. Wait, someone else is here? I haven't seen anyone else. Yeah, sounds like Naomi. Her workshop's through that door there, the one next to the UFO catcher, the crane game, to use layman's terms. Satisfied for now, Gavin goes in the back, presumably to the office to go crunch some numbers. If Francine's really taking a nap back there, hopefully he's gonna crunch quietly. My first coworker ended up slightly less cool of a guy than I thought he'd be, but he's not a jerk, definitely. I get where he's coming from. Plus, I've known really blunt people before. It's easy to mistake them for jerks, especially at first glance. I figure I can give this guy an honest chance. Anyway, I should go meet my next coworker, this Naomi that he mentioned. Although I could swear Francine and I were the only ones here until now. A double door, also marked employees only, also with an apostrophe, leads from the arcade floor to what feels like an industrial area of some sort. I turn the handle and step inside. More penguin! Look at the adorable penguin. He's so cute. In a little room tucked between the back offices and the Funplex front, I find what is very likely the Naomi spoken only of myth and legend. A girl about my age, but certainly not my height, is tinkering away on what looks like an old tube-style monitor. Huh. I didn't realize I had so many circuits. She doesn't notice me when I come in, too busy soldering a capacitor into place. The lingering smell of melting metals fills the air of the poorly vented workspace. Excuse me. For lack of a better way to interrupt her. I was worried no matter what I did, she might, I don't know, burn her fingers or jump so high that she hit the ceiling or something. Fortunately, the shock's not quite that intense.
Ah! Oh.
Hello? She's adorable. Her in this game is adorable.
Hey, you know this room is for employees only.
She said with no apostrophe.
Are you lost? Do you need something?
I'm Hulyen Blue. I'm the new floor attendant, starting today.
Oh! Hi. I didn't realize Francine already found someone. I guess I forgot to check my text. Oh, whoops.
Oh god, she's me. She spares a glance at her phone on the nearby workbench where a huge stack of green notification messages lie in wait. Oh god, she's me. One thought comes to mind on actually seeing her. No wonder I didn't notice her. She's totally focused on the task at hand. This room's right at the heart of the building, but totally isolated. With the heavy doors closed behind me, I can barely hear the arcade. Considering how completely and utterly dedicated she was to that monitor, not even noticing me, I guess that's also why. What I first notice is her smile. Even when squinting to see the tiny components on that circuit board, even when laser focused, she's smiling happily.
Anyway, I'm Naomi Fairchild, the Fun Plex's techie. Hi! Pleased to meet you. I was expecting Gavin, though. He usually checks up on me about now.
Fairchild? Nice. Fairchild's Channel F was the first video game console with interchangeable cartridges. They were bright orange. He is busy doing strange things with numbers.
Ugh, yeah, that sounds like Gavin. I take it he sent you along to help? Great. Give me a hand with this monitor. It's really heavy, and I'm still paranoid about dropping it after what happened last time.
Last time? Really? What happened last time?
Oh, well, I dropped it.
Oh, right. She helps me lift the large cathode ray tube, slotting the heavy metal framework into place within the exposed guts of the nearby arcade cabinet. Once done, she starts hooking wires back up to other wires. There's a surprising number of green circuit boards in that largely hollow wooden shell. Also, working on arcade monitors is serious business. Do not mess around with them, with the cathode ray tubes. I know exactly one person who does them, and he is very, very good at it, and gets them shipped in from all over the country. Which they are not cheap to ship, but if you have, you know, the one person who can fix them. This is the first time I've seen the inside of one of these things. It's weird. Lots of empty space, a couple of large slabs of circuits, and that beefy monitor. Maybe we could fill it with nacho dip. Why is it so empty in here? Why is it so empty in here? Seems inefficient. Couldn't you pack more games in the arcade if it was more compact? Not really, it's more about the footprint on the floor than the vertical height. Naomi keeps working, using a pocket multimeter to check various connections as she speaks.
Let me explain.
I mean, compare American and Japanese cabinets. Ours are designed for standing players, so they have to be upright, even if that means an empty base. Japanese candy cabs are shorter, so you play sitting down. But I prefer the American style. Ours have more room for art. She closes up the rear access panel, closing it with one of the many keys on the keyring at her side, and steps back to admire her handiwork. Those keys are also accurate, which I appreciate. There's genuine joy in that smile, not just at a job well done, but at looking at the whole thing like it's a fine sculpture.
So beautiful.
Oh, I love the classic Midway style. Look at those sharp angles. The side art decals. Would you stop, buddy? The bold font on the marquee. The bezel artwork. The what on the what and the what artwork? With a sigh, Naomi points out key features to me. That's the side. That's the marquee. That's the bezel. It's the part that goes in front of the monitor. Oh. The strip across the top with the game title, that's the marquee. The artwork that wraps around the monitor, that's the bezel. I mean, you see it too, right? how beautiful and cohesive it all is, working in harmony to give this game its own unique feel, its own experience. She is me. It's weird. As for me, well, I agree it's beautiful in its own way. Yes. The way she stares lovingly at this, well, honestly, this box of wooden circuits and vacuum tubes and stuff, I think I understand. It was made to be one whole thing. The art, the style, and of course the game itself. All of it part of the same experience. Everything about this game is the game. If you run it in an emulator or on a game console instead, it's made lesser. You'd be surprised how interchangeable console cabinet or arcade cab bits are too. Yeah, I guess I can see it. It's beautiful in its own way. Oh, good. Sammy lights up with joy like a pinball machine, all twinkly and shiny.
Woohoo!
Finally! So few people really understand the beauty of a classic arcade game. Having someone I can talk to about this stuff is gonna be great. Especially with that jerk Gavin running the numbers. Gavin? What's wrong with Gavin?
I don't know.
Okay, well, don't get me wrong. I can get along with him, generally. But his whole attitude just... ugh. All he really cares about is money. He keeps the arcade running, yeah, but I just know if he had his way, he'd gut the whole place. Anyone's gonna ruin the Funplex, it's him. Mark my words, it's inevitable. That doesn't sound right. He seemed easy enough to get along with, and what's more, Gavin gave me that whole speech about protecting their dreams. This looks like a pretty sore point here, a long-standing argument that the new gal really shouldn't get involved with. Correct. And yet, I'm involved, aren't I? I have to work with both Naomi and Gavin. So I'm not sure I should prod at it, but I kinda wanna know, too. Let her keep talking. I don't want any of the things. Ugh. Just get so mad thinking about what evil money-making schemes he's probably cooking up.
No.
No, not gonna get worked up. Besides, it's not right of me to dump all this this workplace gossip right on the head of the newbie. You seem like a good person, and you love arcade games like I do. Right, let's get back to work, shall we? Now for the less fun part. You seem a strong, strapping kind of gal. Well, a strong gal, at least. Well, you're a gal. That's enough. I'm semi-insulted, then? Okay, let's get to it. Right, a little to the left now. My left! You're right. Careful. Now forward, right? Correct. I mean, not turn to the right. Keep it coming. And there. Carefully, tip it into place. Victory! I gently ease the rolling dolly forward, the giant wooden box slotting into place alongside its neighbors. In case you were wondering, arcade cabinets are very heavy. They are made of wood. The two-wheeled dollar makes it easier, but hardly easy, especially with Naomi fretting over her baby getting scratched or worse, falling over. But with the work done, she's all smiles again.
Yeah.
Okay, glad to be done with that one. I swear I've been working on that monitor for ages. Those tubes are finicky as heck, and I'm still not totally satisfied with the flyback. But thanks for helping me out. I think you're gonna do just great here. Happy to... Alright, stomach growling. Food required. Except... I wasn't expecting to actually be working today. I forgot to pack a lunch.
When you have pizza on a bagel.
Now, I'm just talking here, but if you had pizza on a bagel... Shh! Hey, so, are any good restaurants in walking distance? I think that bookstore next door sells donuts and stuff, but... Oh, no, not really, unfortunately. I mean, there's Cheapo Wub Sub sandwich place, but even if that stuff is super tasty, you don't want to go there. You need to eat healthy. Hey, I know. Wait right here. And she's off, scurrying back to her hidey hole. And she's back, scurrying from her hidey hole. Lunchtime! Here you go. She presses a box lunch into my hands. It's a bento box. I learned how to make them from my mom, who learned from her mom back when they lived in Japan. Rice and pickles and all sorts of good healthy things. Wait, you're giving me your lunch? Sure, why not? And yet when I first walked in as a stranger, she looked super uncomfortable with me. That escalated quickly. Oh, what'll you have for lunch then? Oh, I can just get some nachos from the vending machine or go hit the whole story next door. I've got a book delivery to pick up anyway. But you said eating healthy was important?
See ya.
See you after lunch. I can't help to think she was looking for an excuse to get some junk food instead. I'd say Naomi definitely fits in with Francine's ideals for the arcade. She's got a love for these games, and it shows. And giving me her lunch? Me, a total stranger? That's a kindness I don't know if I deserve, but I appreciate it all the same. So, a bento box. I've only seen these in anime. It's cute. Hopefully has plenty of calories, too. Armed with a box of health food, I retired to the employee lounge to get my munch on. The room where I had my bizarre job interview will suffice for food times. It's not much, a few folding chairs and a kitchenette, but it'll do. Utterly famished by this point, I have a seat and unpack my lone lunch. That's terrifying. Incoherent screaming, coherent screaming, or await death. Incoherent screaming. With my mind and body screaming wildly, my paralyzed form is unable to move from the vision of terror before me. The half-person, half-animal waves their appendages in front of me, likely closing in for the kill. Hello, anyone in there? Waking nightmare. See, nothing to be afraid of. Ah, right. I see. Looks like you've stabilized. I was worried I scared the life right out of you. That is a horrible way to put in the eyes. So, like, waking nightmare.
Hey, so I'm sorry if I traumatized you. Really? Can we start over, maybe?
I nod my head slowly, although that could just be muscle spasms from being in shock.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Hulyen.
I'm also Pinky, the Funplex Flamingo. It's my secret, yet not so secret identity.
What the funplex? What now? This is almost too much to take in. Gavin was a bit of a lot. Naomi was off the scale, cheerful. I've met some really intense people so far.
Did you sneak into the employee section just to get my autograph?
Me? No.
Oh, I thought you would recognize Pinky from all the signs around the arcade. Pinky is the mascot of the Funplex, after all.
No, that's not what I meant at all. I mean, I work here.
You work here? Since when?
Today? This morning, to be specific.
Oh, awesome! Welcome to the Funplex.
I mean, it would have been way cooler if you were just so enamored with the chibi flamingo creature plastered on every wall that you had to know more.
Let's see.
You could have stealthily maneuvered your way through all the games, sliding up right up onto the employees-only door. But how did you get the door code?
Ooh.
Of course! You would have collected the password on a piece of paper that fell from Gavin's pocket. You searched your heart and decided the 4-digit number had to be the intel you needed.
Let's see.
Next, you needed to lie and wait for the opportune moment to punch in the secret key code. Just to find me. It just keeps going and going. She's definitely passionate about this fictional scenario. The way she just takes an idea and runs with it, a lot of people might find that weird, but I kinda dig it. Shows a lot of imagination. Wonder if she's a writer or something. And how would you have snuck out, I wonder? I could have helped. But for a price. Ashley finally realizes she's been babbling to herself for a good couple minutes. Oops. Sometimes I get swept away in a good story. I mean, I gotta find some way to make this job more interesting. Is it really that dull here? No, not really. I just crave a different kind of excitement than beeps and boops, screaming children, and broken machines. You aren't really painting the best picture here. Ah, geez, I don't mean to be a downer. I just want to move up in the world. Got things to accomplish, dreams to fulfill, cosplay to make. Cosplay? As we switch topics, it's like she's a completely different person. Ashley's eyes light up and she smiles. Yeah, you know, like dressing up as your favorite video game or TV character. I love it. It's so empowering to be able to make your own costume and wear it proudly. It's even better when people recognize what character you are. It's a wonder her hair looks that good after wearing that suit. No kidding. Maybe it's got like a helmet in there to, yeah. Empowering? Really? Granted, she certainly had the power to stop my heart for a few beats.
Yes!
Definitely. You want to try? Got a favorite game character? I can help you make your first cosplay if you want. In fact, I made this one. I think Ashley is pointing to her flamingo costume, but it's a little hard to tell with her hands as feathers. So Pinky is your creation? Intentionally? Yep. Looks pretty good for my first mascot cosplay, doesn't it? I'd probably try to stitch my hands together if I tried that. I'm all thumbs when it comes to stuff like that. Literally, if I get enough thread running between them. I'm pretty impressed, though. The anime is going on about craftsmanship of games. Clearly, you're digging on craftsmanship of costumes. Aw, thanks. It's nice when hard work is appreciated. I wear it around the Funplex to liven up the crowds, get people pumped to play some games. The kids seem to adore it, too. That makes sense. Although the arcade has been completely dead so far. No crowds to pump or kids to be adored by. Hey, secret between you and me? Ashley motions for me to come closer. She leans in, glances around the room once, and talks in a tush tone. I did some repairs on Pinky overnight. I had to restitch the left arm. I was giving her an old test drive to make sure it doesn't fall off. Huh. Limbs falling off seems bad. Oh, it was. Yesterday, I was dancing with a little girl. It's been like 5-6 years max. Anyway, we were next to Showtime stage when she tugged on my arm and... whoosh! Off came the arm. The girl instantly started bawling. Well, at least you are consistently scaring people, and it's not just me.
Nope.
Hey now. I don't want that to happen again. I felt so bad. But enough about me, what about you? So you're Carl's replacement. I guess so. I'm the new floor attendant. I attend to the floor. The floor is a thing I am attending to when I'm not going into cardiac arrest. At least you're funnier than Carl, that's for sure. I can't wait to go home and tell Juniper that I do have a sense of humor. She'll be so proud. I assume you've already met Francine, but have you had a chance to meet Gavin and Naomi yet? Yeah, I met them already. Well, it seems they aren't too keen on each other. Right? Ashley rolls her eyes and lets out a sigh. I wish they would just hurry up and make out already. Yeah. Wait. What? Seriously? So, are they going out? Nope. They always bicker like an old married couple. It's classic anime cliche. The ones who fight always end up together. Mark my words. Consider them marked.
Beep beep.
Beep beep, Hulyen. What's that sound? Drat. I set an alarm for when my lunch break was over. Time to get back to the grindstone. I didn't even get a chance to eat.
What? No!
That's no good. Hulyen needs her calories. You eat up, I'll go watch the floor. In fact, how about I take over the ticket desk for the next shift? You can do my job and wander the floor a bit. Fair enough. Thanks. Ashley winks before her face disappears into the dark recesses of that inhuman mask. As I'm wolfing down rice in the shape of a little heart, wow, it occurs to me that I didn't actually ponder my first impressions of Ashley yet. Let's see. She's pretty amazing. I like her enthusiasm about her art. Yes. The way Ashley's whole expression changed when she talks about things she's passionate about just warms my heart. Her beaming energy just lights up the whole room. I wonder if one day I'll be that excited about something. Anyway, with lunch in my belly and break time complete, the second half of my workday began. Rolling into the afternoon, the crowd starts to fill out. School's done, and late-rising pros are heading out to their arcades of choice. With Ashley covering the desk, my job is to wander the floor looking for problems. Or potential problems. Or just making sure everything's a-okay. But for starters, it's a good moment to collect my thoughts. I think I'm off to a decent start with my coworkers. Good first impressions at any rate. Cooperation's going to be a must. I've had awful coworkers before and they can really drag down your day. Hang on. No time for daydreaming. I think I spot, let's see, 3 possible issues to look into. I should have time to get to all of them, but which do I tackle first? Irate customer, near Mr. Moopy's magic maze, someone cursing up a storm at the Fist of Discomfort, or loud crowd around Showtime stage. Let's start off with someone cursing up a storm. There's kids here. There's a lot of shouting coming from the center of the arcade, where Fist of Discomfort is being played. I remember Iris telling me about it earlier today while I was bored to death at the ticket desk. Fist of Discomfort, or FOD, is one of the most popular games in the esports circuit. It's been a staple of the scene for over 6 years. One year, Team Wicked Prodigies took on the Unreal and came back to win the dying seconds of a tiebreaker match to take home a record $5 million prize pot. That's a lot of moolah. And how? Okay, so how does it work? It's a hybrid of real-time strategy and button mash brawling. Fight your way down to the top and bottom lanes, clearing waves of ninjas to finally topple the enemy dojo. So that's the action part. The strategy part involves using special abilities, purchase items, and ninja summons. FOD is sheer elegance in its simplicity, the way the different game systems interweave to form one masterpiece of esports perfection. So summon good ninjas, punch bad ninjas, smash dojo. I'd say boiling down a rich game of action and strategy played the world over by top gamers in such a way is a bit degrading, but sure, okay. All of which is super interesting and stuff, but right now, all I care about is dealing with the loudmouth currently playing the game. The closer I get, the louder the yelling gets. Most of these are words that...
What the
What in the actual was that? No, those are definitely all words my mother would disapprove of. You've got to be ing me. There is no ing way that is even plausible. Those hitboxes don't even connect. Beep this game. Beep it all night long. Aha! Get wrecked! Rando Calrissian. Oh, this is far from over, scrub. I saved a little something extra special for you. I've been baiting you into attacking my sensei, which you fell for. Hard. Oh hey! Did I forget to mention that I brought an extra ultimate technique scroll from my dojo? Whoops, my bee. Wait, what? You haven't been farming. How could... XP share technique with creep waves. Take this! 5-fold explosive death claw technique. What? How did you defeat me? Ooh.
Oh, GG. No one can defeat me, Queen Bee.
My tries, painfully blinking, makes me realize that I've been standing here watching intently during that whole exchange. I'm not even 100% sure what just happened, but it didn't matter. I was completely sucked in. Couldn't tear my eyes away. It's like watching a train wreck. I mean, if the train was the arcade game and the wreck was that guy's face.
Hey, kid. What are you staring at? Never seen a champion of my caliber before?
Oh, Seeing as I don't even know how to begin to start even considering how to respond to her question, I opt to take a moment and collect my thoughts. From what I've somehow gathered, she goes by Queen Bee. The jacket she's wearing identifies her as a member of L7 Gaming, an arcade esports team. And she's the most direct, fierce person I've met all day. That's saying a lot considering who I've run into so far. Why so rude though? What a sore winner. Does she act this bluntly toward every new person she meets? Or grumble when she's on the losing end of a fight? It's off-putting. What happened to good sportsmanship and being nice to your fellow human?
Hey, don't just stand there all weird and quiet-like. It's creepy.
She snaps her fingers to get my attention.
So, are you gonna f***ing quarter up or not? Think you can best the hottest rising star of L7?
From what I've seen, I know I couldn't best a scrub, or let alone a professionally competitive player of this game. Nope. No thank you. Plus, I'm not sure I'm allowed to play games while I'm working.
You work here?
I enforce arcade law within this noble funplex. You bet. In fact, I was just hired earlier. I'm the new floor attendant. The game needs your quarter, come to me. Ha ha ha. Wait, you're serious? Okay then, welcome aboard this runaway train.
Hey, they haven't given you a name tag yet. How am I supposed to know who you are?
That's a fair point. I think that was actually a weird tactic to have me introduce myself to her. I'm Hulyen. I did technically just start working here 6 hours ago. It might take them time to issue me a name tag. Maybe they need to send a carrier pigeon to an ancient monastery where name tags are forged in a vast clay oven. Nah, Gavin's just slacking big time. I'll talk to that silly boy for you. Make sure you get some proper respect. Thanks? No problem. We gamers gotta stick together.
I'm Queen Bee, by the way. Aggro-style FOD lane pusher specialist for L7 Gaming.
I figured that when you put your arms over your head, cheered and shouted, "No one can defeat me, Queen Bee."
Hey, I do not sound like that. Well, maybe a little.
Anyway, I'm one of the regulars around here besides Pear and Teo. You'll be seeing a lot of me in the future. Let's hope you last longer than the last guy. Oh great, now she's even making my job into a competition. I hope there isn't a betting pool, too. You look like a smart kid. You've seen one of my many streams on the internet, right? Nope. I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
Whoa.
Really? Have you been living under a rock for the past decade? If you consider a small yet formidable apartment a rock, then yes. Oh, you sweet child. You are so innocent and pure. Come, let me show you the path to the darkness that is the internet. Nope. My internal sensors are going off and they're telling me to reverse and leave this conversation ASAP. No, I think I'm okay without that.
Come on!
Where's the fun in that? I'm just gonna show you how it all works. Queen Bee grabs my arm, pulls me closer to the Fist of Discomfort cabinet. And upon further inspection, I see the whole haphazard pile of tech she's rigged up. You can't just plug one of these cabs into the internet, so I use a number of clip-on webcams and mics and stuff. That webcam there, it broadcasts to my own personal PC back home, which then streams matches live to all my fans. The chat room appears on my phone. Cost a bit to put everything all together, and it takes like half an hour to rig up and test each morning, but after doing this here for a couple years, it's easy peasy. Aside from Naomi grinding her teeth at my clip-on cameras damaging the paint job, I mean. Anyway, I prefer to stream from the Funplex rather than home. So much to miss out on by sitting by your lonesome with the console version of FOD. The crowds, the wicked trash talk, the community. Wait, are you broadcasting live right now? Are we live right now?
Nope, no way.
Ha! No, that was part of my warm-up matches. Got a pretty big tournament coming up, so I try to get as much practice in as possible. Even if it is with a whole bunch of fodder. Hydrate! Good call, this game is less voiced than I remember. As in FOD dar. As in, you know, chump. Lunch meat. Scrubs. Losers. I get the idea, yes. Queen Bee sees something out of the corner of her eye and glances around the arcade floor. She gives a nod to someone hanging around the Street Fighter TM cabinet. Ah, my crew is starting to trickle in. We should be starting team practice soon. Wait, what time is it? At the tone, the time will be 2:25 p.m. Eastern. Beep beep. The heart is a nice touch.
What the?
I gotta go live in 5 minutes. Listen, kid, it's been swell. Chat later, right? Sure. One thing, can you keep the swearing down at least a little? We've got kids around here and I don't want you to get in trouble with Gavin. Him? Nah. But for you, I'll keep it to a PG-13 rating. Now, if you'll excuse me, there are some butts out there that I need to kick.
Later.
Later. And with a wave and a twirl, she completely abandons me and returns to her Fist of Discomfort game. Queen Bee fires up her broadcast rig, and the shouting and milder swearing starts up again. I should probably get out of here before I accidentally end up on the stream. Queen Bee may be certifiable. She's got a volatile personality, to say the least. I can't say I clicked with her in the slightest. I'm really hoping to have a trash-talking FOD gang running wild in the arcade. I'm really hoping having a trash-talking FOD gang running wild in the arcade won't be a long-term problem. Let's see what to handle next. Loud crowd around Showtime stage. In the distance, I see a number of people gathering, which is surprising, since the first half of my shift was complete and utter solitude. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see that people do come to the arcade, but that's quite the crowd that's assembling. Like, larger than Queen Bee's team was. Rowdier, too. This has to be against some fire code or safety protocol or something, right? Speaking as a citizen that enjoys living, having an escape route in case of an emergency is necessary. Time to clear the way and pave my own path of safety. As I approach, I see flashing neon lights accompanied by upbeat Euro pop drifts. It's an auditory flashback right to 1980X. Gamers aren't morning people, I get it. Yeah, I get it too. I can't help but nod my head to the beat. A pulsating mass of people have surrounded Showtime stage, cheering on the current player. The game itself takes up a whole corner of the arcade, requiring a fair amount of space to actually play. DDR be like that. Showtime stage is an ultra-modern arcade smash hit. It uses motion tracking sensors behind the colored spotlights to check dance pose accuracy and score your sweet moves. Sorry, by DDR I meant Paradise. It's pure dance fever. Can you catch the fever, Hulyen? I had my dance fever shots at the doctor's office earlier this season. As the dance ends, one of the players hops down from the stage and immediately starts talking to a young man leaning up against the back wall. Did you see that, Teo? I got my first double A on Stop the Beat.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, I did. You were doing great. Remember last month you couldn't even pass that song. Totes impressive. I'm gonna keep you practicing and one day maybe even surpass you. Surpass. The word is surpass. Hey, I hope you do. And when you do, you can be the one who brings in new dancers and teaches them how to play. As the next song starts, my eyes shift from their conversation to observe the gyrations and intricate limb movements coming from Showtime stage. I feel my head bobbing and my foot tapping. Hey, it's a really catchy song, can you blame me? I'm getting really into it when I feel a hand on my shoulder.
Care to dance?
How about you? Want to take the spotlight? Sure, I can learn as I go. Let's dance. Back when I was stomping around on dance mat games as a kid, they had arrows. I'm not even sure I'd know how to play this one, but it has caught my curiosity. From the previous observed conversation, this guy seems to know the ins and outs of this weird dancing game, and is keen to teach. Before I commit to getting down with my bad self, I think I should know a little more about what exactly that entails. Plus, I'm used to playing this game solo. Less chance of stomping on someone else's foot that way. 'Tis a valid point. However, how could I resist to ask a gal such as yourself? You caught my eye the moment you walked over. I'm disappointed there's not an I'm on the clock option. Yeah, I probably would have picked that. Let's be real.
Hey, wait.
Hey, wait,
You're new here, right?
Sorry, it's voiced. Yes. Very.
Name's Mateo, but everyone here just calls me Teo.
Teo's the best! Greatest guy here! He's sort of like our leader, yeah?
Oh, please, I'm nothing really.
He looks directly into my eyes.
Nothing as special as you. I just like to show newbies the ropes and teach them how to play. Our community is small, but we're all super close. I think you'd be a perfect addition to our gang. So, what do you say? Play our silly dancing game?
Teo outstretches his arm to me, waiting for my hand to grab his. Politely decline. I am working. The offer is hard to refuse. Dance games are fun, you know. But I can't imagine being up there dancing in front of a huge crowd. Maybe after I've played Showtime Stage multiple times. Alone. Possibly in the dark. I'll give it a try eventually after I sort out the basic steps. Maybe you can teach me how this thing works? I would enjoy that. I've taught many lead-footed newbies how to become master movers and shakers. No time for lessons, unfortunately. I'm on the clock right now. I'm the new floor attendant, Hulyen. Really? But I haven't seen you around here at all. What happened to the other guy? He was actually pretty good at Showtime Stage, now that I think about it. He's out. I'm in. It's currently year 0 of the floor attendant Hulyen regime.
Hello there.
Well, it's an honor to meet you. I hope we get to know each other well. Indeed. For someone that loves Showtime Stage as much as you do, I haven't actually seen you play yet. True, most of the time during these meetups I tend to let everyone else play. I go around and make sure everyone is happy and having a blast. What about you and your feelings? Teo shrugs. Happiness comes from making other people happy. That's all I need in life. Which is all well and good, but I still need to deal with this crowd. How best to handle it? Want to film a workplace safety video? I need to seriously talk about crowd sizes. Can you disperse your fans for me, please? Want to film a workplace safety video? Good! We can start by getting to know workplace safety together. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you've got to break up the band. Unless you want to film one of those retro 1960X public service announcement videos where someone loses a leg dancing off the stage into the crowd.
Well,
Oh, yeah. Guess we're kind of overdoing it a little. Shaking hands with danger. Hey, when the heat is on and lights are shining, these things happen. I'll take care of it. Luckily, the song that was being played just finished. Teo jumps up on the stage and cups his hand over his mouth. Hey! Listen! We need to keep the area to the left of the stage clear. Man, but why? I like my spot. Hey now, you know the deal. We all have to be cool about fire safety. It's Hulyen's first day, so let's show her some respect. I see everyone turn and glare at me. Great, now I'm gonna be known as the party pooper. I guess I've had worse reputations in my lifetime. Like that one time I had to close the pool because of that dirty bandage floating in the water. No one would talk to me for a week. Hey, don't disappoint me, crew. She's just doing her job. Reluctantly, the crowd reshuffles itself in a semi-orderly fashion. As everyone settles into a safer way of watching the game, Teo jumps down and comes back to me. Better? I nod, genuinely impressed with how Teo can capture his community's attention. They listen to him and have the utmost respect for him. Yeah, actually. Much better.
Didn't mean to cause any trouble. Sometimes we just get so caught up in the game, you know? Of course you know. Hey, you should still join us later. Maybe when your shift's over. We'll all be here dancing until closing time.
As long as that dancing is within the law, carry on. Officer Hulyen has spoken. I start to walk away, ready for my next venture, when I remember something I should do. I turn back to Teo. Hey, thanks.
No problem.
Well, I feel nice and accomplished. I was able to uphold the safety of the arcade and make a new friend. I say that's pretty good for my first day. Even Gavin's got to be impressed, right? With that business sorted out, it's time to leave Showtime Stage. Let's see what to handle next. My option is this one. My mutant floor attendant senses detect danger from the left-hand side of the arcade. I quickly rush all of 30 feet to the scene of the crime, already in progress. Come on! Hurry up and finish your game. You, do you work here? I saw you behind the desk earlier. Note to self, ask Gavin for a name tag or something. Yes, I'm Hulyen, floor attendant. Well, stop attending to the carpets and attend to me. I want this to wrap up his damn game so I can play. Ashley's face is obscured beneath her costume's mask, but I can feel her wince as the man curses up a blue streak. Sir, there are children present. Please keep swearing to a minimum. You kick this fat piece of this game and I'll sing Mary Had a Little Lamb all you want. Figuring out how to hear the fat piece of side story before rushing to a judgment, I tap the player on the shoulder. And he doesn't even notice my tapping. So I tap again. Twice. Sir, there are other players waiting to give Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze a spin. Curiously, the player looks up at the game's marquee, thank you Naomi, which simply reads, Moopy. You know the game's full name? Sure, played it a lot when I was a kid. It's actually called Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, right? Wizards and pellets and monsters and stuff? Yeah. A bit terse as he's laser focused on the game, and I can see why. He's currently sitting on 714,900 points. Holy crap, that's a heck of a high score. Or as this other guy would probably put it, holy, that's of a high score. Excuse me. Hyperfocus go burr? Yup. Right. Sir, can you please wrap up your game? Nope. I'm keeping good pace here. Plenty of lives stocked. I'm on par for getting close to the world record before the kill screen. Somehow that thick arcade jargon sounds classier when draped in his British accent. Oh god. Like I'm watching some documentary program on the BBC. I'll do us all a favor and not do a British accent. Yeah, but this is a public arcade. Other folks want to play the games too. He finishes clearing the current board while pondering the predicament. Okay. At first I think he's stepping away to end his game, but he's letting his stock of 50 extra dudes slowly deplete, and as he pulls out a wallet. Without pause, he pulls out $3,000 in cash and holds it out. Will this cover it? For a moment I flash back to that movie where some dude pays another dude to sleep with his wife and they roll around in bed covered in money and, cover what exactly? Cost of the game. The game itself. I have never seen this much raw cash in one place at any given time. It's not even in 20s. Dude's rolling in Benjamins. One moment, please. On it. Fortunately, Iris already has my messenger app open for me with Gavin's contact info preloaded. With trembling fingers, I key in. Customer wants to buy Moopy for $3K, what do? In less than a minute, I have my response. Considering we paid $200 for it plus parts, yes, absolutely yes, sell that relic immediately. Well, okay then. So how's Naomi gonna react to this? Offloading one of her darlings just because Gavin wants to make a 15-fold profit? I also feel it's kind of weird to be taking advantage of this guy's lack of a grasp on the real costs of old arcade machines. I knew all this workplace drama was gonna catch up to me at some point, but with this rando breathing down my neck, I gotta make a decision. The game was $200, but I'm not sure we should sell. It's an older game and actually only cost us about $200, but, well, it's part of the arcade, sir. I expect this apparent gazillionaire to protest at not getting his way, but he's smiling. You're right. This is Mr. Moopy's home, after all. Let's compromise. I'll pay you $1,000 American and own the game, but you keep it here. And in return, I get to play as long as I want, provided nobody's already playing. That way I can keep chasing the score, but your arcade stays whole. I hate to break up a loving family. Naomi will be relieved to hear that. Even if Gavin may flay me for passing up 2 ground. Good. I'd hate to make Naomi cry. How could I live with myself? Which leaves the rando hopping mad. To be fair, we had been kind of ignoring that he exists. What the... man? What kind of arcade is this anyway? This. I'm going to Deco's Palace. And we just lost a customer stomping his way out the door. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Hey, he's not a good customer anyway. On the plus side, Naomi won't cry. On the negative side, I just drove a rando out into the cold.
What a disagreeable fellow.
I will not be doing that accent. As for the player, well, he goes right back to playing. Eating pellets, zapping ghost monsters, clearing mazes. With the crisis behind us, I can actually focus on who this gonzo rich guy actually is. Seems to care about more than just his game. Taking from someone wallowing around in lower tax brackets, the rich can do whatever they want, whenever they want. And yet that's not what this guy did. He could have, but he let us keep the game. He just wanted to play. That's all. And why? Because of Naomi. Because of the Funplex. It's a home and a family for the games and for us. Maybe it's for the best I sent the rando at the door in favor of this guy. So you know Naomi? He's happy to talk even while playing.
Of course. I'm a Funplex regular. My name's Percy. I'd hazard you're our new floor attendant. I was here when Francine seated you behind the desk earlier.
That's me, Arcade Wrangler.
Well then, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and I look forward to getting to know you better.
So you've seriously just been playing Moopy all day, huh?
What can I say? It's my calling. I actually owned a Moopy cabinet once. Had it in my flat. But playing it by myself, all alone in the dark, it's not the same. I need the atmosphere.
The beeps and boops?
No, those you eventually learn to filter out. I mean, everything. The games, the lights, the kids, the feeling of being in an arcade. I score my best when I'm in real-world conditions. It's all about the emotions, the laughter and the tears, the excitement of competition. I need that swirling chaos of human emotions around me to play at my finest.
Naomi gets that. She keeps Moopy in top condition for the day I eventually land my high score. What's the current world record then? About 3.5 million. This guy's been standing here since I was working the morning shift. Hours and hours. He's still only about 72k or 720k into his game. Can't imagine being in anything but top health condition to try this. Guy's gotta have legs made out of carbon fiber and a bladder of tungsten. I just let a few extra lives drain out whenever I need to go pee. Also, he may be psychic. I feel like I should let him get back to his game, but burning questions. They burn like fire. How is it he can afford this game? So gonna get your movie dipped in gold? If it was me tossing around green like that, I'd have my game coated in solid gold and encrusted with diamonds. Amusing, but gold's a bit heavy, isn't it? Break through the floor. But, you know, it'd be shiny, right? Right?
Don't think so.
Certainly, but I wouldn't throw my own money to impress people. Wouldn't want to make my game that ostentatious. It's a bit much, yes. Money removes obstacles. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a tool like any other. I do day trading, stocks and bonds. It's really nothing interesting, I'm afraid. I care more for Moopy as a whole. Right. He's getting more and more distracted by the game. I should leave him be. I have to do a thing about a thing. Be seeing you. Yet another weird encounter and a string of weird encounters. At the end, he sounded more like the high-score junkies you hear about in documentaries. Obsessed, driven, kinda strange. That's not the impression I had of him from the beginning. He smiled when talking about not splitting up the arcade. There's something more going on here, but, well, he's a Funplex regular. There'll be plenty of time to learn more later. I've got work to do. The arcade is now at peace. My work here is done. Well, actually, we're a few hours from closing time, so my work here isn't quite done, but, you know. So at peace, in fact, that I don't even notice the underboss of the arcade sliding on up behind me.
Good day.
Not a bad first day so far. I've been keeping tabs on you. Well, others have been, and they've been texting me. You know, you should consider getting a proper group chat app going. I've got a crappy phone plan. My texts aren't free. A valid point? I'll look into that.
Impressive.
I'm impressed with how you handle yourself. I think you're going to work out just fine. Anyway, I've prepared your paperwork if you'd like to go sign it and make this working relationship a little more above board.
Yeah.
So you're staying? Please tell me you're staying. I mean, I fed you and everything. Francine hasn't fired her yet, right? An adorable nightmare joins the impromptu staff gathering.
Ooh.
She's off to a great start. Here's your first day, followed by many more. Don't you two have jobs to attend to? Just ordered a replacement power supply for Robotron. Nothing left to do for the day. Not many kids around for me to entertain. Finally, a quiet moment. My dream job has been going a mile a minute since I got here. Isn't my dream job? I told Francine I wasn't sure why I was here, but that I was willing to try and find out for myself. It'd be silly to think I'd find my purpose after a single day, but on the whole, that day's been pretty decent. It's a really good suit outside of human eye placement with those eyes. Yep, agreed. No, the quality of the suit's fantastic. She's an amazing seamstress. Starting to get along with my coworkers. I'm helping people with their problems. What more could I want? What more could I want? Well, I don't know. Not yet. But I'll find out one day. We've only got a few hours till closing, and it's nice and quiet. How about we game a bit? Speak for yourself. I still got paperwork to handle. Oh, come on. Don't act like you don't game. Irrelevant. I know your dirty little secret. What? Naomi. You sneak in early each morning to play pinball. You're a pinball wizard. Ah, well, what of it? I bring order to chaos. Pinball is the very expression of that art form. You know what we should do? Impromptu pinball tourney. The girls are giggling, and I'm finding myself smiling right alongside them. All in all, not a bad way to end my first day. Also, I love pinball. Pinball's great.
By the way, I've booked a birthday party for this afternoon.
Looks of confusion and outright terror on their faces, all laughter dying off immediately, are vaguely concerning to me.
Sorry, I meant to tell you, dears, but I plumb forgot.
Birthday party. How old are the kids, may I ask? It's our first birthday. Oh, to be young again. 5-year-olds. Naomi starts pulling at her hair, eyes wide and trembling. Throwing ski balls overhand into the glass, jumping up and down on pinball machines, putting chewing gum into coin slots. Pulling at my costume, tearing off pieces of it. Naomi, Ashley, keep it together. We've survived kids' birthday parties before. Doom, doom, the end is nigh.
Well, I'd hate to get in the way of all the fun. Yep, it's time for my afternoon nap anyway. Have fun, dears.
She's evil. Right. Battle stations, everyone. I'll take ticket desks so I can oversee operations. Ashley, greet the kids. Naomi, watch for hardware damage. Hey. Hulyen, roaming duty. Look for trouble. Do what you can. Prepare yourselves. They are coming. Like an oncoming tidal wave, the rumble is felt before it is seen. Parents pulling into the parking lot. Minivans disgorging kindergartners. And suddenly... the chaos. An explosion of small humans rushes the doors, bursting into the arcade before scattering every which way. Even before any of them can get tokens, they're grabbing at joysticks, smashing buttons, eager to get their game on, or even just pretend to be playing. The fox shirt is very cute. The crew assumes battle stations. Naomi by the fragile pinball machines. Ashley near the door, trying to distract the incoming kids to greet them. Gavin, armed with pre-stacked $10 rolls of tokens, quickly exchanges them with the adults, who's waiting in line at the change machines. As for the pro gamers, well, Queen Bee and Teo's friends bolt for the exit, abandoning them. Keen on getting out ahead of the surge of kitties, I guess. That's all very well and good, but I've got no idea where I'm supposed to be. Roaming duty, Gavin said. Look for trouble, Gavin said. I mean, I was doing that before, but now the chaos has multiplied. For a few minutes, I'm like a pinball being bounced around, or like that frog trying to cross a highway of traffic. Eventually, I spot 3 possible problems on the rise, and Hulyen, professional floor attendant, is ready to attend to them. Which one of these should I tackle first, though? I may not be able to deal with all of them in time. Okay, we got 2 kids fighting over a box of cupcakes, angry adult shouting at a kid near Teo and Queen Bee, little girl crying over stolen tickets near Percy and Gavin. Well, I think I'm going to start with the angry adult shouting at a kid who is not by any staff and is by regulars. 'Cause, yeah. The sounds of hardship call to me from the Fast Cars 5 racing games. Shouting adults and crying children are never particularly good signs, and I hope beyond hope that I can take this on. I shake the discomfort off. Now's not the time to doubt myself. I need to find out what's going on and stat. As I get closer to the revving of engines and the clacking of shifting gears, I see a grown woman berate a cowering boy.
I did
Admit it, you know what you did, you brat. You manipulated my precious son to put his tokens in your game. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm sorry. Children like you are the absolute worst. Garbage. Ma'am, keep your voice down. There's no need to shout at a child, no less. What's going on here? This jerk of a boy told my sweetest beyond sweet Josh that he should put in his own tokens into the racing machine so he could play for free. Josh earned those tickets from his own allowance, and I won't let some devil child steal his money. Let's just take a moment to calm down, okay? Before I say anything else, I spot Queen Bee and Teo out of the corner of my eye. Queen Bee looks infuriated, and Teo has buried his face in his hand. Actually, now that I stop and think about it, they might have some insight. The racing games are right next to Showtime stage. Teo probably had a good vantage of the whole thing if he was dancing on stage. And just by the way Queen Bee's brows are furrowed, I can tell something is not sitting right with her. I could ask one of them for their help. Or I could try to solve this one by myself. Let's ask Teo. He probably saw. Teo was right next to the action when it went down. I decided to check in with him. Ma'am, I know you're upset right now, but if you please stop shouting, we can get this all settled. Teo, I refuse to calm down until this child has been appropriately punished. That such disrespect is tolerated at this arcade is appalling. Oh, I'm giving you the worst online reviews. Teo jumps down from the stage and approaches the shouting woman. He puts his hands up.
Sheesh.
Simmer down, simmer down. This can all be explained with science. Really? I mean, right, of course. Teo, by all means, elaborate. Teo walks past us and right up to the Fast Cars 5 game. He casually slumps in the driver's seat and then motions for us to come near. Let me show you both something. Teo points to the car console. It's got a wheel, which is fantastic and totally necessary for a driving game. Pedals, gear shift, so on. But the feature Teo draws our attention to are the two coin slots, which are vertically stacked, one on top of the other. Okay, so this is where you drop your tokens in to play the game. However, do you see how it's practically in the middle of these two identical consoles? Which game does the top slot belong to? The right-hand or the left-hand game? Left? It's obviously the left one, right? I mean, correct? Of course not, fool. It's the right one.
Exactly.
Hulyen is correct. What? Preposterous. See? Those import games can be confusing. I'm sure your son just put his token into the wrong slot. Common mistake, really. Happens all the time. Considering how confused I was, I could see how a small child would be just, if not more, confused. Honestly, mine was just a lucky guess. I give Teo a grateful look, happy the crisis has been dealt with. The frustrated customer would undoubtedly apologize for yelling at that boy now. No, she won't. How dare you imply my precious Josh was wrong? Yeah, it's about what I expected. I can't believe the gall of some people. Josh! Josh, get over here. We're leaving this horrible arcade. Right now. Oh, well, didn't see that one coming. The woman scoops up her child and storms out the front door. I don't think we'll see her or her son anymore, and frankly, I'm cool with that. Once they're gone, Teo looks back at me from the driver's seat and shrugs.
No can do.
It's just no pleasing some people. I feel sorry for her son. That's no way to treat a kid. Teo's sprightly and happy demeanor shifted slightly, eyes glazed over as he looks into the distance. I haven't seen Teo act like this before. He just looks so upset. Wonder if I should check in with him. Hey, Teo, hey, you feeling okay? I know it's really none of my business, but I should make sure Teo's okay. Seems like he really can empathize with the kid's plight. Hey, everything alright? You need anything? After pausing for a moment, the fire returns behind his eyes. Yeah, I'll be okay. Just reminded me of how I'd get treated, by teachers, notably. I'd space out in class, daydreaming, and they'd rake me over the coals for it just to assert authority. Total overkill.
Bummer.
Really bums me out to see adults mistreat kids this way, you know? I like to treat people with respect, even when they're in the wrong. Like you saw just now with that woman. I appreciate you taking some time to ask me, you know. Shows you've got respect, too. And empathy. You're a kind person. But I'm not that important. You should make sure the boy is safe and sound.
Catch you later.
I'm headed back to Showtime stage. Holler if you need anything. I give a quick wave to Teo as he returns to his game. After poking around a bit, I managed to find the kid, still shaken up from the whole ordeal. Understandably, poor kid. Hey, sorry about all that. I'm gonna be okay. I think so. I swear I didn't do anything. The other kid, he just came up out of nowhere and dropped his token into my slot. After I lost, I got off the game and offered it to him. He just ran away. And that woman approached you and started yelling. The boy nods, wiping his snotty nose on his shirt. Uh-huh. Well, if there's any consolation, the bad lady is gone, and I don't think she's ever gonna come back. The boy, cheeks still streaked with tears, lets a smile spread on his face.
Thank you.
Thank you, and tell that nice man thanks for sticking up for me, too. What a good kid. Also, that is obviously Jacob Burgess doing a small kid's voice, and that's hilarious. I nod, and the boy scurries off and rejoins some of his other friends. Right, that's sorted out. But the other two situations are about to spin out of control. I've only got time to deal with one of them. Which one? Stolen tickets, or two kids fighting over a box of cupcakes? Kids fighting over cupcakes seems real concerning. I can smell disaster on the wind, and it smells sweet. As in, I can smell that box of birthday cupcakes one of the parents left near the ticket desk, with kids swarming around it, scavenging for their favorite icing colors. At first, my inner child is merely offended that someone thought one of those icing blob cupcake cakes was superior to actual birthday cake. But there are clearly larger issues at stake than that.
I want a chocolate! Don't take all the chocolates!
I want 2 cupcakes. Give me 2 cupcakes.
No fair! Everybody gets one, and mine's gotta be chocolates!
Of course, the kid at the front grabs the last one.
Finders keepers, losers weepers.
The parents aren't paying attention. They're too busy complaining about their jobs, and the weather, and PTA and stuff. Meaning when the first cupcake is thrown, nobody's there to stop it.
Ah! Stop it! Stop it!
I want chocolate!
As blobby wads of icing and sponge cake go flying, I glance over to the coin-op games, which are about to get caught in the crossfire. Naomi, who's busy trying to unjam a joystick, one of the kids straggled too hard, looks up to see the cupcake onslaught coming her way. As does Ashley, whose fuzzy costume is a nice and inviting target for flying confectionery. Act fast. Try to save them both. Quickly, I hurl myself into the action. Get down! Numbness sets in as multiple rounds of frosting-coated mortar fire impact across my body. When I finally hit the ground, my clothes are totally ruined. Incredible indeed. But alas, my noble self-sacrifice could not completely protect them. Oh. Naomi seems to get the idea and shields the game with her body. A few stray cupcakes that missed me hit her, but otherwise, no damage done. Ashley takes a few shots, unfortunately. But it could have been worse. As parents swarmed to round up the cupcake war instigators, Naomi and Ashley kneel down to check on my fallen form. Are you okay?
Oh my!
Could be paralyzed from the neck down. Blink once if you're paralyzed. Blink twice if you're not. Not paralyzed. Oh, hey, or you could talk. That works too. Naomi helps me to my feet, although I have to be careful not to mingle my icing with her icing in the process.
Ugh.
Days like these, I'm glad I wear an apron. Ugh. Cupcakes are food, not fashion.
Poops.
Colored icing is just the worst. I think I can get these two out with some club soda, fortunately. Guess they got all of us, huh? But Hulyen worst of all. You know, that was super selfless of you, trying to save us from the splatter. Speaking as a floor attendant, you score a silver medal. Despite all of us ending up splattered a little, they seem in good spirits. I should try to keep that rolling. My cupcake foo is not strong enough. No mere cupcake can stop me. Never mind, how are you? Anything I can do to help? Cupcake foo. Unfortunately, my learned skills are the mastery of mid-air cupcake retrieval have failed me in this hour of need. I have dishonored myself in my arcade. I must train for 10 years, during which I can let the shame of this incident drive the fire in my soul to greater heights of cupcake defense. Just have Ashley daydream up a training montage for you. Same effect? Saves a lot of time. I am at your disposal. Although my screenwriting fees are industry standard if you want the full Ashley treatment. Anyway, thanks. That was a complete mess, but I guess it could have been more of a complete mess if you hadn't done that.
See ya!
I'd better get back to fixing this joystick. You should clean up and get back to it also. Party's still going. Good luck. Ah, good luck. Good work. If you excuse me, I need to go clean up poor Pinky a bit. That could have gone better, but it also could have gone much, much worse. More importantly, I keep their spirits up. Even Ashley, who has to clean icing out of her fuzzy felt, came out of it cheerful. With a brief nod from Gavin, I snatch up one of the official Funplex t-shirts to replace my cupcaked top. After a few moments in the bathroom to change and wipe icing off my pants, I'm ready to go again. 2 problems in the can. Now to deal with that crying kid by the skee-ball machines. Oh, she's gone. Well, crap. Percy looks up briefly from clearing level 78 of Moopy. Looking for that girl? I think her parents took her home. Party turned sour for her, I suppose. Drat, I wasn't fast enough. You can't be everywhere at once. Cheer up, love. You're still doing better than the last guy who stood at your post. Seconded. I saw you deal with that obnoxious parent and with the cupcake war. You did well today. Seeing Gavin actually smiling is weird, but I'm not going to say no to praise from my sub-boss. Things seem to be cooling down. I suggest you take a few minutes in the break room while there's a lull in the action. Ashley and I will handle things for now, and she can swap off when you come back. Percy ducks out of the conversation without actually moving anywhere, refocusing on his game. I could use a few minutes, yeah. Thanks, Gavin. I'll be right back. I slip away, headed for the employee lounge. What a day. Quirky coworkers, diehard pro gamers, volatile kids getting into volatile situations. I'd say it's a recipe for wackiness or some such cliche, but nothing's an easily dismissed cliche when it's happening to you directly. Frankly, I'm exhausted. I drop down into one of the cheap folding metal chairs in the employee break room, groaning and rolling my head back to try to work the kinks out of my sore shoulders. And spot an upside-down kid. Huh. Hydrate. And a stretch. We'll have a nice stretch while looking at this weird upside-down child, who doesn't appear to be terribly happy. Oh, wait. I'm the one leaning backwards. I sit up and turn around instead. Better. Wait. What's the kid doing back here? Hey, I think he was hoping I wouldn't notice him. Hi? Hi, and you are... Mikey? Okay, that's a start. Hi, Mikey. My name's Hulyen. So, what are you doing back here? This is an employees-only area. Wait, there's a keypad. How'd you get in? The guy at the desk dropped this. He holds out a piece of paper with the code written on it. Huh. Score 1 for Ashley's wild storytelling being more fact than fiction. Okay, but you can't stay back here. It's... well, I don't see any knives or stabbing implements left out in the open, so I guess it's technically safe, but...
Please don't send me back out there.
Well, this is curious. I lean in so we can be on the same eye level. Something wrong? You can tell me. I work here. I'm the gal who solves problems.
No problems. Just don't want to go out there.
You want to play with your friends? He gives me the most cynical, bitter laugh I've ever heard out of a kindergartner.
I don't got any friends. I don't know anybody here. My family just moved to the city, and before that we lived in another city. And one more for that, but I was too little to remember. Mom told me to come to the party anyway, and I didn't want to, but she took me anyway. And then she left because she's got to work.
New kid in town, huh? He nods mutely. Still, I should have busted him there and then. Brought him back out to the party where the other parents could supervise him. I should have told Gavin. I should have enforced the rules of the arcade. Okay, kid. I won't tell on you. If you want to stay back here for the rest of the party, I'll keep you company. Thanks. You really won't tell my mom? Nope. Why? I thought you'd want to make me go. You're an adult, like Mom. Hey, I wasn't always an adult. I was a kid once. A new kid in town, in fact. You were the new kid? Yeah, although for me that started happening back when I was 10. Again and again, moving from town to town, school to school. Never really making any friends. Not for years. Mom and Dad kept losing jobs and taking new ones. Worse ones. They'd be working all day long, too tired when they came home to do much of anything. After years and years of this, I stopped hoping things would get better. I decided I'd just take what I could get. Go with the flow. What does that mean? It means you don't care. Some things are good, some things are bad, but you don't care. You just do what you have to do without really being sad over it.
But that sounds so sad. You weren't sad? It's sad to never care about anything, right?
I guess I was sad. I just told myself I wasn't going to be sad. No, I really was. And then I bite my tongue hard, as my little involuntary trip down memory lane was not helping this kid out. Wouldn't have helped little Hulyen out if an adult did this for me. So instead, I decided to be the adult the little Hulyen would have needed. Your mommy loves you, that's why she works hard. Although I do like the aliens could attack. You know, your mommy loves you, Mikey. She loves you very, very much. When I was a kid, I was mad at my parents for moving all the time, taking different jobs. Made things very hard for me. But now that I'm older, I know that they were working hard because they loved me. They wanted the best for me and were doing their best to get it. Life can be hard. Sometimes it's just no fun. There's one thing that's always there. Love. They love you. He shoots me a doubting look. One of those little doubting looks where they don't quite want to outright call something a lie, but can't quite swallow it. Mikey, if your mom was sad, what would you do to make her happy? I mean, if you had to go to school an extra 2 hours a day, would you do it? I guess. That's what she's doing. She's working very hard because she wants to make you happy. I'm not happy being alone. Or moving all the time. Neither is she, but she knows if she works hard, one day you won't be alone, you won't be moving all the time. I was the new kid, remember? But now I have a home, with my best friend, and a good job. I work in an arcade. How cool is that? It wasn't easy, and my parents were often sad. I was often sad. But we pulled through, and so will you. Just remember, she loves you, and you love her. That'll get you through the sad times. Huh. It's not a great answer. Doesn't solve the problem. But it does make things a little easier on Mikey. From his long sigh, I can feel him releasing his sadness before offering a little smile. Not a big goofy grin, not the high of happiness, just simple understanding. I love Mommy. It's sad, a lot, but I know it's not always sad. Even if she left me here, I know she's coming back. Hey, you know what? You've still got some time to enjoy the party. Even if you don't want to play or talk to the other kids, there's a lot of games you can play. And hey, maybe you'll get to know someone while playing a game. Arcades are great for that. I'm sure a lot of them have sad times too, and they could use someone to play with, someone who understands.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to play the skee-ball games. I'll spot you a few tokens. Let's get you rolling. I take his hand to lead him back out to the main room. And off he goes. I'm not fooling myself. I know I haven't fixed all Mikey's problems. I'm no child psychologist. That was entirely me flying by the seat of my pants. But for one moment there, I was able to help someone in the same crappy situation I found myself long ago. 15 years ago. Everything changed. No more family vacations, no more arcade visits. We couldn't afford them, and I couldn't take time off work. The whole Blue family had to learn to settle, to accept the lot in life we've been dealt. To simply go with the flow, never hoping, never wanting. Juniper did her best to pull me out of that mire. I'd only known her a few years, one of the few stable times in my life, but she knew the edge I'd been pushed to. Now, here I am. Today has been, well, bonkers. Alternatingly boring and hectic, surreal, and way too real. but I can honestly say I'm more alive today than I have been in a very, very long time. Beep beep. Beep beep, Hulyen. My emotional voice analysis subroutines combined with your body language suggest that you're very happy right now. Yeah, I guess I am. How did you know? I just told you, silly. I mean, how did you know I'd love this job so much?
Oh, I know.
Well, that's easy. I didn't. What? I lied. I was 47% sure. Oh, it has the elements that seem to click with your optimal social requirements. A fun atmosphere, spirited coworkers, helping people out, and so on. Also, I cross-referenced your roommate's postings talking about how much you enjoyed arcade visits when you were a kid. Still, 47%.
99.97%.
But I was 99.97% sure that if I said I was 99.97% sure you'd be willing to give it a try. Another thing to thank Juniper for, I guess. You're a very weird little app, you know.
Hooray!
I try to be. That app and I are going to be good friends. From the cars pulling up at the parking lot, it seems like the party's over. It's just about closing time for the arcade anyway. Most of the gamers have filed out by now. They hadn't already fled the tidal wave of kiddies. My first impulse is to go bug Kevin about my paperwork, but I can wait. I'd rather go help someone with the tidying up, or maybe see how our VIP gamers are doing. Not enough time to run around checking in with everyone, though. Who do I want to hang out with? Naomi's crying gum out of a coin slot and looks ready to cry. Yep, we'll go, Naomi definitely looks like she could use a hand. Someone's jammed bright pink bubblegum into a coin slot, and she's trying to clear the sticky mess out. How could they? How could they do this to a poor innocent little Q-wert? Hey, need a hand? Oh, thank goodness. Yes, work on the second player slot for me. I've got swabs and stuff in my kit there. Grab what you need.
So frustrating.
Honestly, the nerve of those kids. No respect at all for these games. Games aren't like chew-proof machine washable baby toys. They're delicate and deserve love and care. But they are toys, right? Well, yeah. I mean, of course, just, you know, they're also works of art. I know, not everyone sees it that way. Back in the 80s, operators would just throw away games that didn't perform well anymore. In the end, an arcade has to make money. That means using and abusing a game until it's time to put it out to pasture. I don't have to like it, right? The kids had a lot of fun. They're not all mean. Nothing justifies deliberately trashing a game like this, but if it helps, the party was a success. Everybody had fun playing your wonderful games. So for every kid who hurt you, know a dozen more would thank you if they knew you were providing these great games and making sure they stayed playable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Kids aren't all bad, of course. I'm not really good with kids, not like Ashley, but if they learn to love games when they're young, they'll love them all their life, right? But I do have to be realistic. I know this isn't a museum. We aren't preserving priceless treasures for generations to come. Sometimes I treat it like my little private collection, but really, I do want people to play and enjoy these games. And that does wear them down in time. As long as I'm here, I'll pick up a game when it wobbles on its feet. Dust it off, straighten it up, send it back out there to be played with all over again. With the last of the gum pulled out of the slot, Naomi closes up her toolbox. I should probably pull the coin mechs entirely and give them a good cleaning tomorrow, but I didn't want to let the gum sit overnight. I'm heading home soon. I'll see you tomorrow. Right? You got it, Naomi.
Woohoo!
Great! And she gives me a big hug before bounding off to her workshop. With things winding down, there's just one last thing to take care of before I'm out the door. I seek out Gavin to handle the remains of the day. Hulyen, good work today. Thanks, boss. Mid-boss? Sub-boss? Gavin will do. I can't say you've been a perfect employee, but my standards are impossibly high, so I'll just assume you were as close to perfect as is reasonable. The cost of cleaning our carpets won't be as bad thanks to your quick thinking. Mini-boss? Normally I'd have dealt with the angry parents myself, but I was distracted. I've only second-hand accounts of your performance there, as Teo told me everything. Although Teo isn't staff, I suppose he stepped up to handle that rude customer with a rational and calm attitude, so I'll consider that handled. I'm not pleased that you sold our Moopy for only $1,000, not $3,000 as I'd requested. Gavin, we only paid $200 for the game. I'd be ripping off a customer. A customer with exceptionally deep pockets, and one who squats on that game all day, spending only a handful of change in the process. If anything, $3,000 is what we'd need to make up the lost profit from Percy being so Moopy obsessed. What's more, why it's still here is a good question. Was I not clear I wanted it gone? Percy didn't want to break up the family. They're machines, not people. He also didn't want Naomi to be sad. Yes, well, Naomi needs to learn to let go, I'd say. Ahem. Are you giving our poor little Hulyen a hard time, Gavin, dear? Miss Francine, I thought you were napping.
Let's be sensible.
Naomi's dream matters too, as does the dream of Percy, that poor fellow. Or, isn't Percy stinking rich?
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
Gavin, I know you mean well, wanting to keep everyone's dreams afloat, but sacrifices made in that name, which shatter the dreams of others, well, that's not what the Funplex is about. Let's try that again. That's not what the Funplex is all about. Hulyen, you understand, yes? The reason why? Why am I here? That's the question she asked me during that interview. Now I think I understand. I don't really know why I was here when I walked in those doors. Maybe I still don't. But this is the kind of place where you can learn what and who you are and why you're here. Naomi's here to care for her cherished games. Percy's chasing his dream of a high score. And I'm here because I'm tired of compromising. Tired of settling for whatever I can get. I want something more out of life. You know we're better than this, Gavin. We don't settle. We seek our why and won't settle for anything less. I see.
Apologies.
I apologize. It's difficult to balance my idealism against my realism some days, but I know in my heart I need to err on the side of idealism, even if my mind screams in protest. I can assume you're still keen to work here? I don't even hesitate for replying. Absolutely. Gavin fetches a nearby short stack of forms. Fill these out tonight, hand them to me first thing in the morning. And welcome to the Funplex. Welcome to the family, I'd say. I'm sure you'll fit in just fine. One bus ride later, and it's home again, jiggity-jig. Juniper, already home from work, bounds over eagerly to interrogate me on my day. Hey! So, how'd it go? It went well. Well, or... well. Really well. Your little app came through, despite being terrifyingly omniscient and just a little unnerving. You forgot to mention adorable. That's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear things worked out. And you even came home with a smile, like when you were a lifeguard. Huh. I guess I am smiling. Interesting.
By the way, there's just one teensy-weensy little question I have for you.
Oh boy.
Why exactly did you order a giant crate full of pizza bagels?
Did I neglect to mention that part of the terms and conditions? On the plus side, I know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. And that's level 1 of Arcade Spirits complete. Hey look, you also won a prize! You'll get one of these for each level you clear, plus some extras for various endings and other hidden thingies. Now let's check your score. Looks like you're really hitting it off with Naomi. You're proving to be a gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul. Also, you scored 5,950 points. Nice! Keep talking with people and your score will go up, up, up. Today's pizza fact is, Americans eat approximately 100 acres of pizza each day, or 350 slices per second. Wow! Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 2? Save the game. Alright. I can either end a little early or switch to something else for a little bit. This is a good natural ending point for this game for tonight, plus I didn't make hot tea because I didn't remember there being this much non-voice acted stuff. I hope you're enjoying the game so far. I am a big fan. Taking a peek here. Yeah, it is fun. It's got amazing writing. It's so good, and all the characters are adorable.